Hi, I'm Steve Mann and this is Paper Classroom. Welcome to our short video tutorial about Ts'ai Lun and China and the Chinese invention of paper. Of course, we say Chinese invented paper. To be honest, it was the wasp that invented paper some 60 million years BC. So 60 million years ago, wasps were landing on dead trees, taking a bite out of the trunk, chewing it up, spitting it out to making a flat wall, which became the wall of the wasp nest. So the true first paper maker was the wasp 60 million years ago BC. Fast forward just over 60 million years ago BC to the time of the Egyptians, and the Egyptians developed their own technology for making a paper-like material, and the material they produced was papyrus. Now, papyrus was taken from the papyrus plant. The plant grew on the shores of the River Nile. It had quite a thick stem, and what the Egyptians learned to do was to take this stem, cut it down into thin slivers, lay it crosswise like making plywood, wet it, beat it with sticks that sort of started to fuse it together, and then lay it out in the sun to dry. And that material, very light, relatively easy to produce, but a little bit on the brittle side, especially if it got dry, became the perfect material for writing on. Move forward a few more years, and here we have Ts'ai Lun. In 105 AD, what he did was to record the methodology for making paper, and that's paper as we know it today. And he is attributed as being the inventor of paper, or the father of paper making, simply because he was the first guy to write it down. Now, a long time before Ts'ai Lun, there was the terracotta warriors in Xi'an, and when they actually discovered the terracotta warriors and dug them up, they actually found slivers of paper-like material. So paper was obviously around a long time before Ts'ai Lun wrote his methodology, but because he wrote it down, and he was the first one to write it down, he's attributed as being the father of paper making. He was a eunuch at the court of the emperor, and he'd observed that their records were either written on bamboo, as you can see there, slivers of bamboo all neatly sewn together. But of course, as the documents got longer, it became quite heavy. And if they didn't record on bamboo, they recorded it on rolls of silk. And silk, of course, was extremely expensive. The Chinese were the only people in the world. They were cultivating the silkworms on the mulberry trees, getting the silk from it at the right time in their gestation period, weaving that silk thread into rolls of silk, and then sending it off down the Silk Road and trading with the rest of the world. So silk was a really expensive bit of kit. So he thought, bamboo's very heavy, silk's very expensive, there must be something else, there must be a better way of doing it. And he came up with the idea of paper as we know it today, maybe. Essentially, because they were breeding lots of silkworms for making silk, silkworms only eat one thing in the world, and that's mulberry leaves. So Ts'ai Lun discovered that if you remove the outer bark of the mulberry tree, then you do have this fibrous material there. So he took that material, he took some old discarded fishing ropes made of hemp, another long fibre, took some of the silk, not the valuable nice roll of silk, but the offcuts, the bit that were left over that would normally be thrown away, and bits of bamboo. And what he did was mix them with some water, mash them up with a mortar and pestle to sort of separate out the fibres, dilute them in a big tub like you see here, and then essentially take a sieve, put the sieve in, lift the sieve out. As he lifted the sieve out, the water would drain through, the fibres would get caught on the top. This master paper maker would then give that device to his apprentice. The apprentice would take it away, remove that formed sheet and dry it, bring back the sieve, and the master paper maker would start to make his second sheet of paper. So paper in those days was made one sheet at a time, using these everyday leftover fibres. This is a picture of what the sieve looked like. You've got these two lengths of bamboo. You've got these bamboo supports between, and then you've got very, very thin slivers of bamboo all sewn together to make a sieve that was resting on this support. So this was the device that the master paper maker would dunk into his trough of dilute fibres, bring it up. The sheet will be cast on here. This bit will be taken off the frame, given to the apprentice. A second apprentice who was doing exactly the same job would then bring back his sieve, nice and clean, which the master paper maker would put onto the support and produce the second sheet of paper. So I hope you enjoyed that short introduction to paper making. Please enjoy our other videos and please send us some feedback. Thank you very much for watching.